Have you ever had one of those days? Tough days happen to all of us. Those days when motivation and positive energy just feel out of reach. But what if you had some creative strategies at your disposal to turn things around? In this video, I'll share some actionable tips to help you process those feelings and get re-energized in no time. Hi, I'm Lynn. For over 30 years, I've helped individuals and businesses overcome challenges and achieve some pretty big goals. Today, I'm going to share some strategies that'll help you stay motivated, boost your confidence, and re-energize when those tough days happen. So we're going to turn things around, but first things first, we have to actually acknowledge that we feel crappy. That means the first thing you need to do is just take a deep breath and feel the feels. Go to the restroom, close your office door, book a conference room, whatever it takes. Just get into a spot where you can just be with the feelings and acknowledge that it sucks. We're not going to wallow in it, but we are going to take a moment to acknowledge the feeling and then ever so gently and scientifically sort of pull ourselves out of it. How do we do that? Curiosity. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do once you've snuck away to the bathroom stall or wherever it is you were able to get away to is take a couple of deep breaths and try and physically name the physical feelings and emotional feelings that you're feeling right now. I'm really stressed out, my body feels tense, my stomach is upset, and my feet are cold. What does this do for you? Well, actually, it helps to take you out of the feeling mode and into analyzing what happened and why you feel that way. This lets you more effectively decide on what are you going to do about it. Okay, so feelings acknowledged. Let's talk about how to make ourselves feel better and bring back some positive vibes. One way to do this is by creating a personal becoming board. Now, you might have heard of a vision board, which is where you put up pictures of things you want, your house in Italy, your new car, whatever it is. You put them on a board and that inspires you. And that can be super inspiring. But with a becoming board, we're actually going to put pictures of us as we will be when we've achieved that new life. So instead of the picture of the cabin on the lake in the woods that you want to move to someday, we're going to take a picture of you drinking coffee, wrapped in a blanket, sitting on the porch of that cabin on the lake in the woods. Now, it seems a little silly, but it actually does help your mind put yourself into that picture. And when you feel good about it, that looking at it makes you feel really happy. Your brain says, I want her to be happy. Let's go get that thing. I'm serious, it works. Okay, so another example. Instead of a picture of that brand new car you want to buy, what if you went to the dealership, asked to sit in the car, had someone take a picture of you in the car and put that picture on your becoming board? Now, it's not just a picture of some random car, it's a picture of you in the car and feeling great about it, and your brain's like, we're gonna get that car. All right, so we're gonna get these pictures. Maybe we're gonna throw some personal affirmations on there, nice things that people have said about you, maybe even some nice things other people telling you how they believe that you can get to those goals. That would be pretty cool and motivating. So keep this becoming board someplace where you can see it or access it pretty easily and bring it out to remind you that yes, transformation is hard, it's not comfortable, and you're gonna have crappy days, but you are becoming this other person. And it's probably not comfortable for a caterpillar to turn into a butterfly either, but worth it. Next, try a box of possibilities. Now, as I say that, it kind of makes me think of like a cereal box where you pull out the prize or whatever. That's kind of what we're talking about. But really what we're talking about is a little box or a mason jar or a cup or whatever, where you put little pieces of paper in them that have your big dreams, your goals, your things you would like to accomplish, any size. It could be something little, try that new coffee shop down the block. It could be, I want to move to Portugal. So we're going to put all of these in the box. Now, when you're having a crappy day, you grab your box or your mason jar or your coffee cup and you dump all of those ideas out in front of you and you just kind of look through, and it feels motivating when you look at those things. Like, yeah, I do want to go to that coffee shop, and Portugal. Oh, I wish I was in Portugal right now. Well, now what we're going to do is we're going to tap into the feelings of those possibilities of things that could happen that motivate us. And we're going to go, you know what? I'm just going to spend 15 minutes looking at what it costs to live in Portugal. How much does it cost to rent a flat in Portugal? I don't know, but I'm going to spend 15 minutes looking that up. And you know what? That's going to feel super motivating. And then I'm able to go back to my job and do the things I need to do. But I feel like I've made a step. I actually looked up to figure out how much do I need to earn in order to live there. Progress. Okay, this next one, celebrate small wins, is so cliche, it's practically an eye roll, but I do need to put it in here because there actually is really a nugget of truth to it. So I am guilty of this myself. I typically do not celebrate, I just keep moving. You know, like, finish that thing, we are moving on to the next thing, keep going, keep going, keep going. And I don't do it because I'm not glad I finished that thing, or I'm not excited that I finished it or accomplished it or whatever. It's because the next thing is also very exciting, and that's where I want to go. Finishing it, looking back at a thing that's finished is a little less exciting to me. However, if you create a list of all the things you accomplish, little things, I sent a report, I finally sent that email that I procrastinated on, all of that, you add those to your list. In just a few months, you're gonna have a huge list of things that you accomplished. And that feels really good when you have a particular crappy day and you're running into roadblocks everywhere and nobody wants to do their stuff and it's just a pain in the butt. So you can look back on it and say, you know, not every day is gonna be like this. Also, triumphing over procrastinating on that email, big win. All right, so our next tip is to take a micro break, which is basically just a short break. I just thought it sounded more cool if I said micro break, but it's a little break, okay? Now I know this one sounds tired too, and it kind of is, because taking a break, walking around the block, blah, 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 yeah, that's supposed to be good for you. But you don't have to go outside. You don't have to go for coffee, because if you don't have time, you don't have time. But you could book a little conference room, go lay on the floor, take some deep breaths, meditate for a little bit. It actually does work. It will recharge you and you will feel better. Now, could you do it in 5 minutes? Maybe. Maybe you need 15 minutes. It depends. You know what? You've earned that 15 minutes. Make it 20. Tell them I said so. Also, you probably know that looking at plants and nature and that kind of thing makes you feel better. But did you know you get the same effect from fake plants? Your brain can't tell the difference. So if you can't keep a plant alive, don't worry about it. Go get a fake plant. Your brain will be just as happy. Okay, next tip is to reach out for support. And I know it can feel hard to do that when maybe you don't have a lot of friends at work, or maybe there's not really anyone you can talk with it about, or maybe the person you usually talk to is the person who's really annoying you right now. Here's a tip for you. Send a note to someone you like. Could be anyone. Could be a family member, a friend, a mentor, whatever. Send them an email and say, I'm having a really rough day. Tell me something good about myself. And you know what? You're going to get back something that's super nice, that's going to make you feel better. And an even better thing is that person now knows that you're willing to do that for them in a pinch. So when they have a crappy day, they can reach out and say, tell me something good. You tell them something good. And then they feel better and you feel better because, of course, doing good things for others makes you feel better. Win-win. What's your favorite strategy for staying motivated or bringing back good vibes or simply restoring your faith in humanity when it comes down to it? Because sometimes that's just the kind of day it is. Now for the bonus tip. Create a feel-good folder. I have called this a hugs folder, a fist bump folder, but the idea is this is a folder where you keep nice things that people said about you or to you, and you keep them in a folder so that when you're having a rough day, you have something to look at. Remember those notes from the previous tip where you're like, I'm having a crappy day, say something nice about me? Put those in the folder. And then you've got a bunch of them. So you can even do this proactively. Like, let's say you're having a crappy day. You could send that same note to 10 people that you know. I'm having a crappy day. Tell me something good about me. Now you've got 10 nice responses, which awesome in that day, but also you can save them for later. You could also add things to it like, you know, when you get kudos for doing a nice job, or somebody did a little awards nomination for you and they said all kinds of nice things about a project you worked on, or maybe it's they just sent a Slack message saying, thank you for your help on this thing. It was really helpful and I appreciate it very much. How nice is that? They didn't have to do that. Put that in your feel good folder. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope that you didn't find it because you were having a crappy day and were busy distracting yourself on YouTube. But in case you were, thanks for showing up. I empathize. I know the struggle is real, 100%, but I also know from years of experience that it will get better. Regardless of why you're here, if this video resonated with you, give it a like or a comment. That tells YouTube that this content is worth sharing with other amazing people like you. And for more tips, check out some of my other videos. There's tons of actionable strategies that you can use right now. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.